It's been a humbling and yet very powerful experience to be able to be part of a small but vibrant congregation who brings together many talents and gifts and very diverse opinions to try to work through 300 years of history. How do we reflect on where we've been, where we are, and where we want to go? Throughout a year's process and many meetings that were open to parishioners, past parishioners, community members, and professionals in areas of expertise that we needed to draw on, we were able to sort through how do we reflect what this church means in the community, what its heritage looks like, and interpret that honestly, and how we want to be a welcoming church in our future.
As somebody who is relatively new to not only the Little Fork community, but also Virginia, the process that the church went through for our master plan here was something that was really encouraging and welcoming to me. The area that we live in here is really incredible to me because there is so much history that's just like around every turn. But the history that's around every corner is not always a history that is inclusive to everybody.
The history of this colonial church is well documented, both in writing and in historic records. But there's an untold history that's at least as compelling. When this church was erected in the late 1700s, most of the heavy labor would have been done by enslaved persons. Many of the artists and skills that are in the church that have allowed it to survive for now almost 250 years are the direct result of the skilled craftsmen that were enslaved in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Well, one of the things that we investigated was the Civil War era monument that we had. It had been here all my life. I've seen it, and I really didn't know anything about it. When we first undertook this, I really didn't even have any idea that there was anything objectionable about it. It was just a statue that had been here at the church. But I began to learn more about what the purpose of the statue was, why it was here, and how that some people were adversely affected by it.
Even goes as far back as John Smith's 1607, 1622 map, placing Native Americans in this region. Whether or not we discover anything or not, it'll be a tremendous walk. In addition to our current graveyard, a possibility that it is a burial mound of Native Americans, then it's just all the more historic this place is, and the many prayers and people that have spent their time on this ground.
The development of the master plan not only does it plan for our future as far as infrastructure, but it also includes how we can be inclusive of our community. The demographic of our church, where it sits in Culpeper County, is quite unique. We are in the countryside, we'll call it. With that has a special responsibility to our community.
We are thankful that the space is going to be so that people can come and take a walk, sit and reflect, eventually walk a labyrinth, and be able to use the grounds and maybe eventually come in and worship with us, but the grounds will have supported them in a time of quiet and respite and open space. As our community continues to grow and grow, this will be reflective of our commitment to keeping open spaces available.
When we first began the process of deciding how we would tell the story of our past and plan for our future, it seemed as though it might be impossible to reconcile some diametrically opposing views. But we took the time to talk together and listen together and make compromises. And sometimes a previously unheard voice came up with a beautiful idea or solution that just pulled everything together. I'm very proud of all the work everyone has done on this plan, and I honestly feel we can move forward in unity.